Arlene to me. Our football journey last Saturday took us first to Rose Hill as Bucknell came to Fordham for a 1 p.m. start. Backed by 14 first quarter points, Bucknell shut out the struggling Rams 21-0 as Fordham football, their woes just continue. The 1-9 Rams will finish up the season this Saturday at Jack Coffey Field when they welcome Holy Cross for a 1 p.m. kickoff in the Bronx. Well, the beauty of last Saturday for a college football fan in the Bronx was simply 2 games, 1 day. Later in the afternoon, we headed a little further south to Yankee Stadium for its college football series continuation. This year's installment featured Army and Rutgers. Let's take a look. Army took center stage at Yankee Stadium in a revival of a storied history for college football in the Bronx, especially for the cadets from West Point. The Black Knights returned to the BX Saturday. This time, Army was searching for redemption. Rutgers stood in its way. The Knights would joust at the ballpark with Army striking for 6 first-quarter points on 2 field goals, and Rutgers responding with a late second-quarter TD that should have given the Scarlet Knights the lead following the extra point. But a missed point-after touchdown, and the 2 went into the half tied at 6. Flash forward, freshman wide receiver Brandon Coleman nabbed a 38-yard strike for a 13-6 lead at 11:20 in the third, and Rutgers was back in business.
Oh man, this is an emotional moment, just to come out here before the game and just watch, just take pictures and see. I've never been here before. I'm not even from here, so just to see that was just amazing. Army would respond in the third on a Larry Dixon rushing TD, and this time a missed PAT by the Black Knights held them back. Trailing 13-12, Army couldn't slow Rutgers, which had picked up steam in the fourth quarter. Rutgers added a pair of late TDs for a 27-12 final.
God bless the guys. They're hanging together and they're fighting hard. They're devastated, but they're so close.
7-3 Rutgers now finds itself a half game out of first place.
There's a lot of momentum building, and we will take this and out-prepare ourselves from the previous weeks and look forward to a great game at home.
Scores aside, the afternoon was truly about the experience for both.
The guys love playing here. I mean, it's an exciting place to walk into. We're in the locker room, and especially our guys that grow up playing baseball, the ones that have a baseball background. They were tourists there for a while.
I told them, I said, enjoy it, soak it up, take your, they're worried, can we take pictures? Take your phones out and then when you walk back down those steps, get ready to play.
It was just a great atmosphere, considering the Yankees are my favorite team. It was definitely a pleasure, and playing here it was definitely a dream come true.
In the end, today was a victory for the visitors and the borough of the Bronx as well. This is Bobby C. reporting from Yankee Stadium. The Army series will continue next year, then take a year off before returning for 2 more in 2014 to 2015 at the ballpark. Our local pro teams didn't fare too well in Week 10 of the NFL season. The Giants lost by a touchdown at San Francisco last Sunday despite reaching the red zone on a late drive. The 6-3 G-men had a defensive lapse late in the third quarter and came up just short inside the final 2 minutes against a tough 8-1 49er squad. The Giants will now host the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football. The Eagles may be without QB Michael Vick, who played last weekend with broken ribs. Big Blue is still upbeat. Let's go inside the locker room for more.
We've been in this situation before, starting out pretty good the first half of the season. So, we just want to take one game at a time and not get too, caught up in the fact that we started 6-2. I mean, and no one's going to remember what our record was in November. All I think they're going to remember is what we did, and hopefully in January and February.
Main thing for us is knowing that we have enough guys here who remember how we won the Super Bowl, but it's not in such recent memory that we're still reliving it every day. We're just taking the lessons that we learned from it and trying to apply them to this season.
No one's giving us any credit, and we just keep playing with a chip on our shoulders. Everybody says we're inconsistent, we're not going to do anything, and they still say that, so that's fine. We know what we can do in-house, and we're going to do it.
The New York Jets took center stage on Thursday Night Football last night and were in desperate need of a victory following Sunday night's loss to rival New England at MetLife Stadium. Leading late, Jets QB Mark Sanchez tossed a pick six, allowing Denver QB Tim Tebow and the Broncos an opportunity to come from behind. The Broncos rallied in the fourth quarter as Tebow engineered a 95-yard sequence, which he capped with a 20-yard rushing TD. Broncos 17, Jets 13. Gangrene is now 5-5. We caught up with LaDainian Tomlinson, whose ailing knee kept him out of Thursday night's matchup in the Mile High. How much of a setback is tonight, and how much more motivation will this provide for Thursday?
You know, it was a big game for us. You know, we put everything into it. You know, it was a lot on the line. To not win the game, obviously it is a setback, you know, but at the same time, you know, we still have a lot of ball games to play.
Is it bad timing in a way having to face the Patriots after they lost 2 in a row?
No, I mean, you know, actually I think, you know, it should have been the perfect, you know, opportunity for us. Because any team that loses 2 in a row, you know, you start to question yourself and your confidence is a little low. And so for us, it should have been a perfect opportunity. But we didn't take advantage. And you know, the good thing about it is we played Thursday, so we got to move on quickly and try to get a win on Thursday and put it behind us.
The Jets will have a little more than a week to contemplate the final games of the season. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Duke's Coach K is the all-time winningest coach in college hoops. He locked up win number 903 this week. The city of Philadelphia laid boxing legend Joe Frazier to rest this week as well. He lost his battle with cancer last week, dying at the young age of 67. Former Fordham QB John Skelton rallied the Arizona Cardinals to victory last weekend. Skelton has looked sharp, filling in for the injured Kevin Cobb. The Cards have won 2 straight with Skelton under center. He'll start again this Sunday. The home opener for Fordham men's basketball is tonight at Rose Hill. The Rams will face Binghamton. Check out FordhamSports.com for more. In scholastic sports news, Bronx High School of Science girls volleyball dropped a tough one. Pick up today's New York Daily News for more. Thinking of poking fun of the winless Columbia Lions football team? Well, think again. The university's marching band performed last Saturday following a 62-41 loss to Cornell, taking some jabs at Columbia in their chants. The band was banned coming into this weekend's game, but the university has since removed its one-game ban. The Lions will take on Brown this weekend with the marching band cheering and booing. Have a sense of humor. St. John's men's basketball lost to Arizona Thursday night. More college basketball action on tap this weekend as the coaches versus cancer tourney resumes at Madison Square Garden tonight. Penn State isn't the only college program dealing with sex scandal allegations. Former ball boys at Syracuse University have alleged molestation charges against associate head coach Bernie Fine. Fine has been placed on leave. Major League Baseball is on track to add 2 wildcard teams in each league for the postseason next fall, a move that will likely move the Houston Astros to the American League for balance purposes. The Yankees have discussed the possibility of bringing veteran pitchers Bartolo Colon and Freddie Garcia, both free agents, back into the fold. The Bronx Bombers have a host of community events planned for the holiday season. More on that next Wednesday in a special Thanksgiving sports edition. Detroit's Justin Verlander is your AL Cy Young. LA's Clayton Kershaw is your NL Cy Young. Tampa's Jeremy Hellickson and Atlanta's Craig Kimbrell are the Rookie of the Years. The NBA lockout continues to drag on. The players in the union are decertifying, and things certainly are looking grim. Penn State football lost last Saturday, minus Joe Paterno on the sidelines. That's the least of its troubles as more child abuse allegations against Jerry Sandusky continue to emerge. Those are the headlines. Let's hit the C-list and discuss the curious case of Tim Tebow. For those, I'm tongue twisted today, folks. For those that tuned in last night to watch the Jets Broncos on Thursday Night Football, it's hard not to express your thoughts on Denver QB Tim Tebow. The religious Tebow is a polarizing figure, perhaps the most polarizing figure in sports today. They love him in Denver, they love him in Florida, where he was the pride of the Gators and a Heisman Trophy winner. But around the rest of the country, Tebow draws flack for his beliefs and his lack of arm strength. Even his own NFL team had a hard time turning over the reins to the man they call Jesus in Denver these days. Check out that jersey, which we just saw. Of course, they're wearing these in Mile High. Sacrilegious? I don't know. Not the point of this C-list, folks, but something to ponder instead. I'm going to jump all over this Tebow bandwagon the way I did last season, relegated to third-string QB coming into the year. Tebow got past Kyle Orton and Brady Quinn on the depth chart, and he's now 4-1 as a starter in Denver. His wins are ugly, but there's no denying that he wins. All he has ever done is won. And last night, after a putrid evening of offense from both the Jets and the Broncos, it was Tebow time inside the final few minutes as he dinked and dunked and ran over everyone into the end zone for a victory. Call it a miracle, call it whatever you want, but Tim Tebow is good for this league. He's fun to watch, and his actions are controversial in a country where church and state somehow still remain separate despite all that is going on in the universe. I opt for a different opinion of Tebow, and it's not a miracle. It's a matter of heart. And for our New York football fans, the Jets will need plenty of that down the stretch, and maybe a miracle, too, to make the playoffs. And perhaps the same will be said for Big Blue, whose rigorous schedule is anything short of miraculous. That's your sports on Bobby C.